Hello and welcome. Today I will be talking about Baccano Volume 15, 1710 Crack Flag. Now we start in the year 2003 in Lotto Valentino with a young man who blew away his inheritance. He finds a chest from his ancestor, poet slash playwright of Lotto Valentino named John Pierre Arcardo. Um, this memoir from him told the reader that if what they read brings them distraught, then they should get rid of it or return it. Arcardo then starts to tell the reader about alchemists and mortals and how he witnessed it and how the Avero family requested his presence in the year 1707. In that year, John meets with his friend Io, also known as Misa, as John teases him about his delinquent past. Misa still didn't like his name because it's similar to miser. Then we meet Lebro Ferme Viralesque, an apprentice to an alchemist, as well as a child named Czeslaw Mayer. Misa and Czeslaw meet for the first time. Ferme praises John for his plays, even if John preferred to do poems. He felt happy getting praise for his plays. Then Misa asked Chez if he was hungry, as Chez wanted sorbet, and Ferme told him that he must not be spoiled, and told Misa that Czeslaw liked sorbet. Misa went to get some for Chez. Ferme told John about a cafe in Paris that was popular with all of the various artists, as John told Lebro that he didn't plan to go to Paris, and he wanted to stay in this town until he died of obscurity. Ferme accepted it as John asked him about himself. Ferme told him that he couldn't explain the depths of a specific topic such as alchemy due to being an amateur. He admits that it might have served as a reference to a future play or poem, a comedy about men possessed by ludicrous desire to turn iron into gold. John told him that he never showed contempt for his craft, and Ferme told John that he thought it was ridiculous too. John admitted that alchemy was like magic, and both of them gathered with the aristocrats. They try not talking about the fact that the people of Lotto Valentino tried to pay off the aristocrats with the fake gold, and it's revealed that part of the reason Misa formed the rotten eggs was because of his disgust of the corruption from the fake gold and the drug. Ferme told John on what he would say about immortality. Now, in the memoirs of John Pierre Arcardo, he still didn't believe in immortality, and Lebro arranged for John to meet Dalton, the one who summoned the demon to gain immortality. John told us that he would appreciate if we put the memoirs back into the box, especially the moment that we hear demon. Misa spoke to John about how mysterious Dalton was, especially when he has connections with Esperanza, who Misa calls lecherous. Misa admitted that his opinion of Esperanza improved when he stopped those riots 2 years ago, and how Greto fell in love with a serving girl named Sylvie, who was working for Esperanza. John joked about Greto and Sylvie's situation, and Misa assumes Esperanza wants to research mortality to make women immortal. John's jokes eventually had Misa giving him a smack upside the head. Lebro, John, and Misa arrived at the third library and encountered Huey, Elmer, and Monica. Elmer told Misa to smile more. After that, Huey told Elmer and Monica about how startled Lebro was when he saw him. Lebro, John, and Misa meet with Dalton, who has a prosthetic hook on his right hand. Dalton recognizes Misa, as Misa didn't like when his aristocratic background was mentioned, and accused him of being a fraud. Then Dalton reprimanded him and told Beg to cover Chez's eyes, and Dalton uses his hook to cut his throat and regenerate. Everyone was in shock. Dalton had some disgust at Ferme's undisturbance. Dalton turned to Misa and John and asked if they're interested in immortality. In the memoir, Misa became Dalton's apprentice, while John hesitated and didn't go through with learning about immortality. John later goes to write a tragedy of an immortal man and his tortured existence. LeBro told him to be proud to share his impulses to the world, but later on, John felt guilt of committing a certain act and to write these memoirs for an atonement for the crime he committed years later. He doesn't imagine to be forgiven as we read these memoirs. She will be saved. Then we move on to 1709 winter, where Monica tried to invite Huey to a new play, but Huey declines as she gushed when he looked at her in the eye. Sailors harass her and she stabbed one of them and they fled. Elmer arrives, which shooks Monica, and it's revealed that only few knew about her multifaceted nature. Monica looked annoyed, and Elmer told her to smile more. Monica admitted that she was jealous of Elmer because he's so close to Huey. When they went to the port, she was frozen when she saw the banner of an hourglass crest. She was in despair. Lebro and John are on the port as Lebro told him that the House of Dormentere are looking for someone. Carla Alvarez Santonia, sent by the House of Dormentere, meets with Esperanza and she is surprised that Esperanza didn't give her a strange look, since she was dressed as a man. But she felt ashamed when she treated him with contempt due to the stories she heard about him. Then she tells him that she's been assigned on a mission to locate a certain criminal who's been hiding in this town. The one that killed his parents and the eldest son of Lord Dormentere and Esperanza's younger sister, Mary Belle. In the memoir, the House of Dormentere were an anomaly in the town, but John concluded that it was Lotto Valentino that was the anomaly. He idolized the outside world and hated the town. Townsfolk were frightened and had a recent but great fear of aristocrats and the military. When Lebro showed him the ship, he felt hope and excitement that his own place had the power to change the world. Just like Misa, who sought power to change this world with immortality, just as Huey gained a fortune to destroy the world, just as Monica tried to tear the film between her and her beloved, just as Elmer wanted everyone to smile, just as Carla swore loyalty to her master and taking pride in it, just as Esperanza wished for the happiness of women. John felt like he had the power to change the world because of the praise Lebro gave him, but the script he wrote did change it, being nothing of what he wished for, causing it to shatter the lives of a handful of people. That's why he decided to leave these memoirs behind. He committed a crime which he can never fully atone. Elmer wanted to sneak onto the ship, but Huey questions it and was annoyed. Elmer still wonders what the ship and Monica's shock is connected to, and Huey told him that she probably didn't want anyone learning her past. Elmer is amazed by the device Huey made that was an attempt to recreate Greek fire. Then Elmer questions on if Huey had a fixation of fire, as Huey thought it had something to do with the witch hunts. When Elmer brought up the fact that Huey would hate for Monica to kill herself, Huey tells Elmer that if her death would bother him, as Elmer told Huey his smile wasn't real. When Huey told Elmer that he'll visit her, Elmer knew that Huey liked her, and Huey told him that both of them shared her destiny. At the third library, Monica made the excuse of being sick, which Elmer didn't believe, but her smile seemed real. Something felt off with Huey when he saw her, and he'd watch her, but she didn't turn around. Renee slipped and dropped her books, then Huey saw soldiers outside of the window. Huey got irritated that Monica wasn't looking at him. When he thought of taking revenge on the world, he felt a change. Then he talks to Monica to check up on her as she pummels Elmer's shoulders for telling Huey. Huey asked her if he's interested to see the play with her. Then the classmates shared their thoughts of Huey finally asking Monica out. Oh, Monica told him today wasn't going to work and said the next week should be perfect. Dalton and Carla have a conversation, and it leads to Dalton asking her about her search for a criminal and other reasons, as he reprimanded her for admitting to her motive and asking another question before answering his question. Carla leaves and he welcomes her to the town. Meanwhile, Huey confronts Monica when they walked together as he felt that she was hiding something, and she admitted that she did. Since they were late to the lecture, Huey caught her right arm walking along. Then Elmer ditches class to sneak onto the ship until Misa caught him, and as it's revealed that they met often. As Misa disapproved on Elmer's eavesdropping and not being aware were who he was tailing. Hill, Huey admitted that Elmer irritated him, but Monica laughs and told Huey that he's the one that gets along with him the best. Then she admits she was jealous of Elmer because he spends so much time with him, and she felt left behind. Huey felt afraid of losing the relationships with Monica and Elmer and finding the world to be pleasant when he told Monica that she also wasted his time even more. Then he saw Monica crying as he asked what was wrong. She told him that she was happy. Then she confessed feelings and guilt on her past. But Huey reassured her and gave her a hug, and he confessed that it didn't matter to him if she was broken or what crime she committed, or even if her true self was exposed. He would make a new mask for her. Then Monica blushed. Yeah, like, I know, like, her feelings for Huey, like, finally manifest, like, and as well with Huey and like, I kind of like the small development that Huey gets in this novel, and they're so cute together. But yeah, anyways, it's also revealed that Carla was sent to Lotto Valentino to really learn the town's secrets, especially the elixir and the fake gold. Elmer and Nikki reunite, and it's revealed that she's working alongside Beg and Fairmay ever since the end of 1705. Then Carla thought that immortality was ridiculous and is still waiting for a spy to contact her. Then John and LeBreau talked as he was unsure about writing the last part of the play. LeBreau reassured him and convinced him that his plays have helped, though John feels like calling himself a hypocrite would make him feel better. And Huey and Monica went to see the play, and they saw it reenacted Huey's past. Elmer and Huey had a conversation, and Huey didn't feel like seeing Monica, remembering that play written about his past, and Monica realizing what she had seen. He assumed that she's shared his past, the playwright. Thus, both of them haven't really talked since then. Elmer questions him about trust, while Huey brings up the fact that Elmer would stab him in the back in order to make someone smile. Huey also told him that he's able to open up to him because he didn't trust Elmer to begin with. Elmer told Huey if he wanted to trust Monica and persisted that it didn't matter whether or not he believed her or not, or wanted to believe her. And Elmer asked Huey if he loves her. Boronial Mansion, we find out that Monica had been staying in the mansion as Elmer visits her while Esperanza loathed to ask men for favors, and he asks for Elmer to take care of Monica, but Elmer told him that he's asking the wrong person and that if he wants someone to take care of her, he should ask the one blushing when they told him he wanted to love Monica. Then Elmer goes to see Monica and tells her that he's in Huey and asks if she wanted to go see him. While Monica, speaking as the mask maker, snapped at Elmer and wasn't sure how she could talk to Huey, as Elmer pointed out how she's getting her personas mixed up while she accused Elmer for mocking her. He told her he wanted to make her laugh, while the mask maker persona told Elmer what could Monica's smile possibly be worth. Elmer told her all smiles were equal as long as they were not faked, while the mask maker shook her head with how selfish Elmer was. And the mask maker told Elmer that Monica had no right to be happy, but Elmer wasn't so sure as he took her mask and Monica stammered for Elmer to give her back the mask. As Elmer put the mask on and told her everyone had an equal right to smile, while she told him that she wouldn't forgive someone who stole one that they loved and never forgiving them for smiling as they died. Elmer told her that she doesn't need to forgive them. Like, you can't stop them from smiling, whether you can or can't forgive them. Monica told him that he was funny and not normal, but had a wry smile. As Elmer told her that if he was funny, then she should laugh, and urged her to smile. Then he gave up and told her that he played a trick on Jean-Pierre Arcardo, the one who wrote the play, and to bring him to meet her. Well, in reality, Elmer arranged for Huey and Monica to meet and abandon house. Like, yeah, that was pretty funny. Like, yeah, like Huey and Monica just they need to talk it out. So yeah, but yeah, when Elmer visited John Pierre Arcado, he bumped into Carla as she asked him if he had any business with someone in the house. As Elmer told her he did, and Elmer and John meet. In the memoir, John reveals that Carla complained that the script was based on the House of Domintere, but he told her that they served as an inspiration and that the story was fictitious. But he only said that to buy time, and more accurately, Lebreau advised him to do so. The play that was performed was the initial draft, and John was modifying the script. The titles were the same, so no one knew. Then he finally got it done with the revised version of the play. Elmer asked John if the play had been based on the truth, and John bluffed and showed a fake smile, which Elmer pointed out, and he told him to not look upset and told him to smile. But John couldn't and still went ahead with the play, but maybe he should have stopped the play, and due to the consequences of his actions, he stole the many other smiles. We move on to Monica and Huey at the abandoned house, and they both have trouble speaking to each other, but Huey embraces Monica and told her that he didn't trust her, suspecting she might have told someone about his past, and he can't say he doesn't still suspect that. She knew and told him it was alright, and he told her that he'll use her, as she didn't mind. She couldn't bear to say for him to not leave again. Monica cried with no mask to shield her tears from him, as Huey told her if it was alright to fall in love with her. He then told her that he won't trust her, but even if she betrayed him, even if they were enemies, if it was alright to love her, and could his love be enough for her. Then Monica told Huey that he wasn't being fair and how she can't refuse him, as she remembers what he told her, and she cries into Huey's chest. Then moonlight faded, and Huey and Monica have accepted each other's hearts. Yeah, that was pretty sweet. Just sweet. But yeah, now it's 1710. Monica woke up feeling happy with classmates peppering her and Huey with questions, and Elmer deflecting them as she smiled under the covers, but she was in a cell. A few months before that, Monica and Huey walked down the market street, and it was a few months since their reunion, and their relationship was famous, even in town, and she felt the atmosphere changed, though the town hardly changed. Huey used his fake gold to control a portion of the town's economy and relaxed his restrictions on a few influential figures. They saw the black ship arriving, and Huey wonders why she was afraid of the House of Domintere, and Monica told him it was fine. Huey used his position as a mask maker to gather information in town while having a secret identity of a messenger of the mask makers. Some of the info he wanted was about John Pierre Arcado. Huey didn't doubt Monica anymore, as he wonders who is giving John information of his past. However, he found out John had vanished recently, but John is participating in discussions about his script and keeping in touch with his actors. Huey considered him a person of interest and wanting to know what he could on the House of Domintere, and worked carefully as to not expose Monica's past. He thought about his past self calling him a degenerate due to how much he changed, and of course, having Monica as a source of emotional stability. Monica was part of his life. Huey told her not to worry and find a way to fix it. Then weeks later, Monica and the pasticcere's mistress, also who Monica calls her auntie, talk, and her auntie mentions if Monica would marry Huey, as Monica was flustered as she said no, and her auntie told her to take her time and think it over. And then the landlady asked if she encountered anyone strange on her way home, but Monica said no, and the landlady revealed that a group was asking around for ladies who attended the libraries, and then she threw flour at them to chase them off. Monica wondered if it was the House of Domintere, but the landlady said the people were local ne'er-do-wells as Monica was relieved. And a week later, at the third library, Monica hears her classmates talk about a new play that was revised during its run, and how the revised version was more obvious, with the last half of the play being based on Lotto Valentino and the people on the Black Ship. Monica knew this play was based on her and her arrival to the town and the incident that brought her here. At night, she paid a visit to her older brother Esperanza as the mask maker to say her goodbyes and gratefulness to him. As Esperanza tried to stop her, but she had vanished. A few days later, Huey and Elmer couldn't find Monica and tried looking for her. Misa and Elmer talked, and Misa didn't understand what John was up to and is worried about him, as Elmer tried to cheer Misa up. Then Huey found out the revised play was real and people were spying on alchemists, specifically a woman the House of Domentari wants to find. At the private ship, it's revealed that Monica turned herself in and Carla was actually sent to gain the secrets of the town, and that finding the criminal was an excuse for that. And she intentionally ignored Monica. Carla questions her as to why she did it, as Monica tells her real name being Maribel Boronial. But Carla thought Maribel died 10 years ago by a robber that also killed Gardy and Maribel's parents. She asked Monica why she turned herself in. Carla doubted the spy's reports, and she finds out that there's a completely different version of the play as Monica told her about her past to Carla. 10 years ago, when Monica was 9, she was ushered into a room by Gardy Domentere, and she saw a dead girl that he covered up from under the bed, as he almost forced himself onto her. Her parents came and Gardy killed them with a candlestick, until Monica used a candlestick and stabbed Gardy's throat while the room was set on fire. Then the Domentere servants rescued her. The Dormentaries hushed up Gardy's crimes, and of course the incident with Monica, as to save face due to how influential the House of Boronial was, and an official trial would have had the House of Domentere state that Gardy killed Monica's parents, and thus made up the deaths being caused by a robber, and that the child Gardy killed and got burned was declared to be Maribel Boronial. Then the House of Domentere stole the power of the House of Boronial, as Esperanza agreed to a deal in order to protect Monica. In the present, Monica pleaded for Carla to stop the play, since Huey didn't have anything to do with it, as Carla could see how deeply Monica cared for Huey. The play portrays Monica's past and how the girl and the boy from the witch hunts made a pact to a demon to burn the nobleman's ship. The fire spreads to the town, and both the girl and boy vanished. Huey and Elmer see the play, and Elmer told him not to burn the theater down and to smile. Then Huey told Elmer that he might smile if he set Jean Pierre on fire. Carla ordered to seize Jean Pierre. Then a certain day in 1710, gossip spread in town about the play and John's disappearance, and Huey finds out someone from the Domentaries purchased women's clothing for someone else, because Carla usually just wears her uniform, so of course they think it's Monica. And Elmer thinks Monica voluntarily turned herself in, while Huey wonders why Monica didn't tell him. And now Huey might also get apprehended as an accomplice due to being based on the demon from the play who burned the town down. Huey told Elmer he was thinking of sneaking onto the ship and making an enemy with the House of Domentere, despite their power to sacrifice the town to save Monica, and to drag Elmer into this, as Elmer asked if saving Monica would make him happy, as Huey agreed. Elmer asks Huey if he gets to see Monica again, will he smile? Huey told Elmer that he will show him the greatest smile he'll ever see. Elmer was on board with the plan. Yeah, that's one of my favorite quotes. Carla managed to get the play cancelled, and the townsfolk, unaware of the House of Domentere's real goal, as she was wondering how John knew about Monica's past, and suspect the spy's alchemy workshop. In the play, Gardy's little sister had a grudge on the girl, but in real life, the sister didn't even care about Gardy's death. As Carla remembered, her mistress told her that the criminal search was an excuse, as Carla wondered why that part of the play was different. She writes a letter to her mistress about the situation. Meanwhile, Monica really wants to see Huey. And yeah, like, some based on true story movies kind of do twist the truth a bit to like make their movie instead of telling real life or very accurate events. So yeah, that's probably why. In the memoirs, John talks about Monica and Huey's situation and the nature of time. And several months later, Carla got a response from her mistress. Monica didn't matter, and that her fate is left up to Carla. Carla felt conflicted and just had her in custody. Then Carla's men reported that the town was under attack, and so were their own buildings, and reports of a man with a mask setting those fires. Then both her and her men were collapsed, as it was revealed that it was a paralysis potion created and thrown by Dalton, who Elmer convinced to help. In the memoirs, John told us that Huey, in 6 months, created an organization consisting of more than 300 people, right from under the House Domentary's nose, and how Huey is doing everything just to see Monica again. John apologized to Monica about his plays and told her that Huey told him to come save her. Then John told her she needs to die one more time. And yeah, he also opens the door to his cage. But yeah, in the memoirs, John told us he took refuge at LeBreau's place and was found out by Nikki and got abducted by Huey and Elmer and was forced to join the mask makers, and for them to create an illusion to fake Monica's death and set the ship on fire to sink it. Then Huey and Elmer carried the unconscious people off the ship before it got torched, while the other mask makers created diversions. Then Elmer asks Huey what he's going to do when he sees her, as Huey responded to Elmer that he will hold her close as Elmer smiled. And then Monica was climbing up the stairs and tried to smile, and she saw a mask maker wearing a familiar mask as she cried and smiled. In the memoirs of John Pierre Ricardo, he told us his accounts were not their fate and talks about the sins committed, such as the feud between Lotto Valentino and the House of Domentari, as well as modifying the end of the play, where the witch's son, the founder of the mask maker, stabs the play version of Monica and letting her burn with the ship, fearing she'd expose the secrets of the magic to someone else, thus deceiving the public that Monica died at Huey's hands. So she could live as someone else, John asked the reader to remember Monica was saved by Huey. Then John signs off. The reader saw this to be the end of the story, wondering if that story was true, and wanting to believe Monica and Huey lived happy lives. The end. Yeah, this is the end of the novel. Yeah, this was pretty cool. Wait, there's more? Oh, dang it. But then the reader found another sheet of parchment, one of despair. In the memoir of John Pierre Ricardo, John curses the reader for finding the other sheets of parchment and asks them why they didn't throw them away. He lied about committing suicide and would after the other accounts were done. In 1710, Monica saw what she thought to be Huey, but she couldn't recognize the voice under the mask, as Ferme stabbed her, and due to her captivity, she felt weak and wasn't as strong and not being able to dodge. The other mask makers already took Carla and the other Dormentary men off the ship. Elmer called to Huey that another ship was burning. Carla wakes up to see Misa and saw a burning ship, and Misa tries to calm her down, and then Misa asks about the other ship, and Carla told him it was one that accompanied the main ship. She accidentally reveals something about a spy, as Misa wondered what she was trying to do here, and then she declares that Lotto Valentino is an enemy of House of Domentare. Monica had her final thoughts as she was about to die, as she thanked Huey and told him, "Let's meet again." And both ships made contact as she smiled to Huey and Elmer, and she fell towards the waves as Huey tried to go after her and yelled at Elmer to let him go, but Elmer didn't do so as her body disappeared while Huey was screaming. This was the first and last time Huey screamed, and Monica's body was never found. It was like how Huey's mother, who was plunged into a lake, never to have been seen. Fairmay enjoyed this little game, then his mind went to Ches next. And yeah, like, her death is really sad. Especially the comparison between her and Huey's mom, both sharing the similar fate. And yeah, like, and the way they described her being stabbed was just brutal, heart-wrenching. But yeah, in the memoirs, John lied to the reader that he didn't join the mask makers, and urges the reader to understand he really wanted to save Monica and trusted LeBreau too deeply. LeBreau suggested for John to revise the end of the play, and John lied about Monica and that she really did die. He may as well have killed her. He tells the reader to hate him, and John didn't know the truth until years later. John revealed that Monica, when she turned herself in, that she had been pregnant with Huey's child and gave birth while she was still in custody. Yeah, like, oof. Meanwhile, John assumed Monica deliberately fell off the ship, unaware that she had been stabbed, while LeBreau faked his confusion of the situation as well. Then John asked LeBreau what he's going to do with Monica's baby, and LeBreau said that he discussed it with Carla, and he'll take care of the child, and that Nikki will probably be the main caregiver. John was relieved that Monica left a little hope behind. It's revealed that Fairmay was the Domentary spy and enjoyed Huey's screams and meant to tease him a little bit, and felt entertained. The thought of Elmer made his skin crawl, though. And yeah, like, screw Fairmay. This is why I do not like him. Like, this is also why I don't like him. And like, well, like, he really, I don't know. But yeah, in the memoir, John tells us that LeBreau visited him recently and how he looked just like how he looked 10 years ago. Curious to see what John has been up to, as John realized Fairmay was immortal and realized how malicious Fairmay was. While Fairmay knew the mistake John made the accounts and hoped for people to be aware of LeBreau Fairmay Verlesque. John tells the reader he didn't feel like he atoned for his own sins, and he'll be satisfied if this saves someone from LeBreau's clutches. John is grateful, though it despises the reader, he still thanks them. He states that Huey Laforet and Monica Campanella genuinely loved each other, and John asks for us to remember for one person to know the truth, and that is the remaining regret John will leave behind. Then John signs off. In 2003, John's descendant wonders if his ancestor really did commit suicide. Then the descendant used his bike to arrive at the third library and finds out that John died at the age of 98 with a large family. The descendant was enraged and calling John a coward. They found in the town's history that the House of Domentare and Lotto Valentino went to war in 1711. Then the descendant was greeted by Dalton, the library manager, but the descendant didn't think this was Dalton because of the convincing hand prosthetic and not the hook Dalton wore back then. Dalton told them that the library was closing, and then he saw the books of the descendant had been researching, being that of Jean-Pierre Arcado and the House of Domentare, as this takes Dalton back. He remembers Monica's death and how unhappy she would be since Huey will never join her in the next life. Dalton closed the book and left into the library. And yeah, that was the end of the novel. This is one of the saddest novels in the series. With earlier I mentioned about Monica's death, and as well as Huey screams, and like how LeBro basically manipulated John since the beginning and had orchestrated this like very early on. Uh, I'd say ever since that brief interaction between Ferme and Huey, where, and I feel like things are a little bit convenient, especially with the two ships. Like we assumed it was just only one ship, but then we find out it's another ship. But yeah, um, yeah, Monica and Huey's relationship, from what we got, was beautiful. It's one of my favorite um, relationships in the series. Just sucks. Like, yeah, we already know Monica died, but how she died was just a lot sadder. But there were some uplifting parts, like Misa and Cheslaw meeting for the first time. I kind of liked that, and it kind of mirrored that scene in the end of like 1931 where they meet again. And yeah, like, yeah. Now into the characters I liked. It was Huey, Monica, Elmer, then Carla, as well as Misa. Ferme really did this just to tease Huey. Like, no. And the saddest part about Monica's death is that she didn't feel like she earned this happiness, and but I would argue that she did. But yeah, that was the end of the novel. I got used to it. The first read was just sad, and then going back, just no. But yeah, this was it. I hope to hear your thoughts of this novel as well if you've read this far into Baccano. So yeah, thank you for watching, and goodbye.